Hello, everyone. Welcome to the cover reveal of Beer for My Corpses, a Misplaced Adventures novel by C.M. McGuire. Oh my gosh, can I tell you, the moment you came up with that title, I was like, yes, please. Was it like the first one that came to mind, and did you build a story around it, or did you look at your story and you're like, oh, I know?
It was actually I built the story around the title. A few years ago, I was bullshitting with a friend of mine, going like, "What if you had like a bartender? They were like a magical bartender, and then they had to deal with zombies and shit. And I would call it Beer for My Corpses because I love that song, Beer for My Horses." And then when I was creating Beer for My Corpses for the Misplaced Adventures universe,
Mm-hmm.
it occurred to me, okay, but what if the magic user actually can't even do the magic? Everything just sucks. And then it went from there.
I love it. Well, we're very excited. So let's not torture everyone and let us reveal the cover. Look at that. So excited. Molly, our cover artist, Molly Phipps, she's amazing. We got you covered book covers. She did such a great job. I looked at the cover, I'm like, well, I love it. I sent it to Chelsea, and Chelsea, what did you say?
I believe I said, I love it. I might have said something else. I have a sinus infection, so I don't actually know anything right now.
My brain is a fog.
Yeah, you could say absolutely anything to me, and I'd go, sure, that sounds right. My brain can't tell me anything else.
I love it. I love it. All I remember is we're like, yeah, looks good. Copy, print, let's go. So it was really cool. And I have to say, the two characters on here now, so these are your two main characters. Mm-hmm. So tell us just a little bit about those two main characters and tell us which one's which.
So the silhouette that kind of has the more dramatic silhouette, she's got the bigger hair, she's got the fancy cape. That one is Pickett. She is our fake witch. She's borderline feral. She's had a really rough life. So her priority day to day is just getting by and surviving. And she decided that starting a bar in the middle of a swamp was a good idea, which she finds out in the book was not. The other character is Edie. She is kind of a skinny, half-starved milkmaid from a local town. She was a foundling. She's got no family. She's really devoted to Pickett and to the bar because that's the only home she's ever actually had before. And a lot of the conflict from the story comes from the fact that while Edie is extremely devoted to Pickett and to the bar, Pickett has a devotion to Edie that doesn't necessarily make her trust Edie. She wants to protect Edie. She wants to hide the worst of everything from Edie. And when your partner's in a business, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. You need to work together. And of course, the one thing we sent her was the part in the middle where you were like, I think it'd be cool if there was like a skeletal hand holding like, a beer. And that's exactly what she put right there, right in the middle. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we love the cover, Beer for My Corpses. And yellow is your colors. Everyone knows who has been following along on the Misplaced Adventures. Each author gets their own color. And what I would like to do now that we know a little bit about the sisters is read the back cover copy of the book. There we go.
Sisters, by the way.
I'm sorry?
Not sisters, by the way. If they were sisters, the romantic tension would be bad.
Awkward. Yeah.
This is not Game of Thrones.
Awkward, yeah. So, welcome to the Pick's Pocket, where the spirits are high, but the stakes are higher. In the depths of the Cedrian swamp, Pickett, the accidental swamp witch, spins tales to keep her ramshackle bar afloat. Only her loyal sidekick, Edie, knows the enchanting act is just a clever ruse. Yet, Pickett harbors more than magical secrets. A looming loan threatens to snatch the very bar they call home from beneath their feet. As if unpaid debts weren't enough, the undead decide to crash the party, sending patrons fleeing and Pick's pocket into peril. With a loan shark demanding more than magic tricks, Pickett finds herself juggling not just spirits, but the haunting threat of financial ruin. Now, Pickett must pull off the ultimate vanishing act to save her bar. But can she keep the loan shark at bay, the spirits in check, and settle her debts? Or will her magical mishap lead to a hilariously haunting disaster? I mean, I'm voting for disaster, quite frankly. I mean, that's more fun to read, right?
Or I can't tell you which one it is or if it's not both.
That's right. She's like, maybe a combo. I love it. I love it. Well, you just got like all of your notes back on because this is a shared universe. That's why this is the first book in the 5th series. We've almost got all the first books out. It's so exciting. Ethan A. Cooper's in the chat right now, and his book is 2 months after yours. So that will be the first book. We've done an entire year of this hilarious experiment. I'm wondering what challenges did you find, or what did you find fun about having that continuity edit where all your characters that you made had to kind of fit into this already existing world?
Honestly, the continuity edit was the easiest part. Because one of the reasons I wanted to set the story this way is because I knew logically I'll get really busy. I'm going to have trouble keeping up with everybody and everything that's going on. How can I write a story that is easy to fit in with everything without breaking what somebody else has done? So I decided low stakes for the world as a whole, high stakes for the characters, and just kind of setting it in a fairly remote location allowed for a story that would just be easier to fit into it with only winks and nudges toward other stories. Continuity edits themselves were fantastic. Most of them were just like, oh, change this word. Oh, she shouldn't be thinking that. Oh, can you give more detail there? And yeah, it was the only thing I had the energy to do with a sinus infection yesterday. Basically done.
I love it. So exciting. Yeah, Kevin says his favorite thing about this novel is the scale of it. So just what you were saying, right? You know, low stakes for the world, but high stakes for the characters. So it's extremely personal and intimate between these two main, who are simply great characters. I love it. And for everyone, next, of course, we're going to have Chelsea read a part of the inside. It has become a tradition with our cover reveals and some of our best most favorite parts of this. But do want to let you know that the link to pre-order your copy, you can order it now. It is up on Zafo just shared it. So make sure you can pre-order your copy now. And Chelsea, if you are ready to read, please give us background, what we need to know. And we're excited to get our first taste.
So what you need to know before this scene is that one of the ways that Pickett is trying to bring customers in is by having acts performing at the bar. But the act that she had just bailed on her. She turned out to actually be a very talented singer, and so she no longer wanted to sing at a bar in the middle of a swamp anymore for some reason. So Pickett is up shit creek without a paddle. They've discovered that the rum boy who delivers their rum shipments can actually sing pretty well. And Pickett's pretty sure the night's going to go to shit. Edie is in the back trying to convince him to go on. And that's where the scene picks up.
Excellent.
All right. Should I get going?
Yeah. Fire away.
Pickett prepared a few more drinks, dropping them off at the tables. Coins were dropped. Beer and rum were spilled. The baby goat nibbled at her boot before she shook it off with a scowl and shooed it back to its distracted owner. Well, if our business is done for the night, I'd best be going, a merchant grumbled, pushing himself up from his seat. One of his companions gestured toward the stage. You don't want to stay for the entertainment? What entertainment? Good night, lads. And just like that, he and all the coins in his pocket were headed for the door. Fuck Ramona, north and south. Without entertainment, her customers had no reason to stay longer than their business. More than that, they had no reason to keep spending their money. Frantically, Pickett tried to work out some way to force him to stay. Some sort of new drink, perhaps? The offer of a round for his table if they all stayed and paid for another? Before she could cast out a desperate offer, a figure stepped out from the back, skirts swirling around their ankles as they spun onto the stage. Pickett blinked. Black fabric with bits of gray lace twirled into flowers along the hem. That was one of Ramona's dresses. Had she been so eager to take her new job that she'd left a dress behind? Not that she had time to mill over it as the figure spun around, black skirts flaring like a dark blossom. A polite applause rose among the patrons who remained, but it was replaced with gasped and scandalized whispers as Kellum spun around. He wore Ramona's dress, Ramona's hat, even a touch of rouge on his cheeks. The nervous rum boy was gone, and in his place was, well, Pickett didn't really care what he thought he was doing. The merchant at the door paused, then wandered back to the bar, his gaze fixed on the man on the stage. She grinned and slid him a glass of Bibblewood juice and rum. Without glancing at her, he dropped a couple of copper and bronze shims onto the bar and drank. Kellum threw his arms in the air, lifted his chin, and opened his mouth. And there it was, that voice, that beautiful voice that grated so often on Pickett's ears, latched onto each and every patron like a hook. So much so they might as well not have heard the dreadful lyrics, the typical port song he must have picked up from one of his rum merchants. She told me she had never known a lover in her past, yet as she raised her skirts I saw a red and angry rash. Great guffaws of laughter rose up. That magnificent, stupid rum boy. Had Pickett ever said an unkind thing about him? Surely not. He was nothing short of a sensation as he danced from one end of the stage to another. The patrons of the Pick's Pocket began to clap along, laughing and cheering as Kellum swirled, even shaking his hips as he sang. I knew I ought to hesitate, and yet he coaxed me in. But as I rolled his breeches down, I thought I'd never win. Sorry, I lost my spot. Another round was called, then another. One table after another, all of them cheering and laughing as Kellum, in Ramona's dress, won more laughs than any other before. Edie laughed, skipping back behind the bar, her pale face flushed.
Oh, you're going to leave it there? That's not fair. You're going to keep going. We're going to hear the whole song, man.
Well, that's why you buy the book.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Yeah, we're all like, oh my gosh, and she sings. Like, we were all Oh no, sorry. All these authors of Cursed Dragon Ship are in trouble now.
Well, we all clearly need to just get together and write a Misplaced Universe songbook of filthy folk songs.
I'm sure there are quite a few amongst you who would do a wonderful job with that.
The dirtier, the better.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I am so delighted. I cannot wait to read this. It's a sad part in the Misplaced Adventures. A lot of times I'm the last one to read it. So I still get to read it, but I'm last. And that's just not fair. It's just not fair.
Now you know that there's a drag queen in it. So
I know. What more could I want? I'm so excited. This is fun. And I was wondering, right now, because I know these change, right? Like like characters that you like or don't like or what's going on. Sometimes it depends on what you're writing at that moment. Just right now, if you had to choose, which character do you think is most like you?
Edie is who I try to be when I'm being professional and like out in public.
Mm-hmm.
Pickett is who I am at 8:00 in the evening when I've got a glass of bourbon next to me and I'm trying to write or be functional.
I love it. Split personality. Bam. Here are my characters.
It's Jekyll and Hyde, but really it's Edie and Pickett.
I love it. That makes me so happy. Well, for everyone who is now interested, which I know is everyone, this book releases on March 12th. So that is a Tuesday, like always. We'll do it right here at 8 p.m. Central. And we'll have some more cool stuff and some books to give away. And we're very excited and can't wait. So that will be there. And we would like to know who would, or where can people find you and your work, Chelsea?
Well, on most social media, I have just one tag. It's at CM McGuire, but I thought I was being clever when I decided to spell it out phonetically. So it's SEEEMC. SEEEMMCGUIRE.
C.M. McGuire.
Yeah,
she's right there.
M.E.M. McGuire.
McGuire. Yep. I mean, it was very clever. Might be too clever for some of us, but it was very clever.
It was also something I came up with during COVID, so.
I wonder how much of that bourbon was involved.
Look, we don't all remember 2020 that well, and we all have our various reasons for not remembering 2020 that well.
It's very true. Well, Chelsea, it has been a delight. And we are very excited to release this book with us. And thank you, Molly. I wish she could be here, but she's across the pond, so it is very late for her. But man, she does a great job. So we are grateful that we found her.